What's going on, everybody? It's Dwayne, back in for another video, back in for another reaction. And today is a great day. Do you know why? Because it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Also, we're doing 101 facts about Sweden today. Because I'm a complete novice and I know nothing about my European neighbours being from England. So, without further ado, let's get into this reaction. Let's go.
Jag are Sam, and today I'm here to talk to you all about the Scandinavian sensation, the Nordic nonpareil, the freezing phenomenon that is Sweden. Sweden has contributed so much good to the world, much of it spherical. Confused? Well, I guess you'll have to...
Did Sweden? Yeah, literally I was about to say, did Sweden invent oranges? Like, and is the origin of an orange Sweden? Surely not.
Keep watching to find out what I mean, won't you?
Yeah.
But why do Swedish people regularly scream out of their windows? Why does Sweden import rubbish from Norway? And is the Swedish chef the king?
Someone told me in the comment section, but I'm going to learn more. But someone told me why you guys import. Actually, no, someone didn't tell me why. They told me you do, and you make money from it. You charge other countries, but I don't know why. So this is going to be interesting to see. Because I think that's amazing that you guys... You're taking the rest of the world's garbage, which is kind of bad for the environment, and I'm guessing you're just disposing of it in a safe manner, which I think is incredible. So let's go.
King or president of Sweden? I should really learn more about international politics. Anyway, 2 out of 3 of those questions are going to be answered, so get comfortable on your stocks and armchair, grab yourself some surströmming and salt licorice, and prepare to be Swedenated right up the jacksie with 101 facts about Sweden. Mycket bra.
Okay, speak. Quick note from the editor. My apologies for Sam's no doubt terrible pronunciation of Swedish things for the next 30 minutes. Right, let's begin then. Okay. That's all right, because I can't pronounce anything in Sweden. Swedish. See?
Number 1. Sweden, known officially as the Kingdom of Sweden, is a Scandinavian country in Northern Europe. Are you with me so far? Yes, good. The rest of the video would be a bit of a slog if you weren't, frankly. Number 2. Sweden is nicely sandwiched between Norway to the west and north and Finland to the east. Sweden is also connected to Denmark to the southwest by a bridge tunnel across a super narrow...
That bridge tunnel, I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. Like, I need to go on the bridge tunnel. Someone said it goes underground, under the sea as well, underground. Yeah.
Strip of water known as the Öresund. Number 3. Sweden is generally divided into 3 distinct regions, which are stacked on top of one another vertically like the sections of a fab. I remember those. The southernmost region is Jutland, Svealand is found in the middle, and Norrland sits atop the...
Didn't know that. Jutland, Svealand, and Norrland. If I pronounced that right.
North. Sorry if I mispronounce anything like that, because, apparently I mispronounce things all the bloody time, according to the comment section. Number 4. At a hefty 450,295 square kilometres, Sweden is the 3rd largest country in the European Union by area, behind Spain in 2nd place and France, which takes the gold medal. Number 5. Sweden has a total population of roughly 10 million people. Interestingly, around 2.3 million of those people have a foreign background, meaning that almost a quarter of all Swedes have recent ancestry from outside the country.
Wow! A quarter of Sweden has immigrants from other countries. That quarter of the population, wow. Really multicultural then in Sweden.
Number 6. Sweden has a pretty low population density of only 22 inhabitants per square kilometre. The highest concentration of people is in the southern half of the country, i.e. most of Jutland and Svealand. Furthermore, roughly 85% of the population of Sweden lives in urban areas. Number 7. The modern Swedish word for Sweden is Sverige. Sverige, which simply means realm of the Swedes. Pretty simple, unlike IKEA instructions. Ho ho!
No, I can't assemble flat pack furniture. Yes, I am an adult technically. I'm exactly the same. I'm still terrible at flat pack furniture, even though it's really simple. It's supposed to be simple. It takes me a while to kind of read the instructions and lay everything out. But then once I get going, you know what I mean, I'm okay. But some people can just do it like that. They take out the package. All right, this goes here, screw missing here. It takes me a while.
Zing! Got you there. Oh, it's probably racist for me to mention IKEA, but there we go. Number 8. there is evidence to suggest that people have been living in what is now known as Sweden since as early as 12,000 BC. But Sweden first emerged as an independent state much later on during the early 12th century. In the year 1280, King Magnus Ladulus issued a statute which established a nobility and granted them numerous rights and privileges, including freedom from taxation. Oh dear, typical posh boy. I shouldn't pay any tax because I've got loads of money. Number 9. A couple of centuries later, the population of Sweden was decimated by the Black Death. Oh, classic Black Death. Which killed 2/3 of the Swedish population.
Wow.
At this point, Scandinavia's culture, finances and languages came under threat from a powerful merchant association called the German Hanseatic League. In response, the kingdoms of Sweden, Norway and Denmark joined together under a single monarch in 1397, creating what was known as the Kalmar Union. The Kalmar Union lasted almost 130 years until Sweden rage quit in 1523, becoming a strong, independent country that don't need no man in a crown.
Okay.
Number 10. In 1630, Sweden decided to get involved.
So you guys have like quite a strong bond with your border family, Finland and Norway.
In the religious conflict known as the 30 Years' War, which had already been raging for years. The Swedish involvement snatched the Protestant side a victory from the Catholic jaws of defeat, and resulted in a significant decline of Catholicism in Northern Europe.
Right.
At this point, Sweden had solidified its position as one of the great powers of Europe, which lasted for hundreds of years after. Siffra 11. In the year 1658, oh, remember that, what a great year it was. The sea between Sweden and Denmark froze over so completely that 9,000 Swedish soldiers and their horses literally walked across frozen water and besieged Copenhagen.
Wow.
Number 12. Unfortunately for the Swedes, during the 18th and 19th centuries, Sweden began to lose many of their territories outside the Scandinavian peninsula, culminating in the annexation of what is now Finland by Russia in 1809. Oh, poor Finns. Number 13. The last war in which Sweden was directly involved flared up in 1814, when Denmark was forced to cough up Norway, which was forced into a union with Sweden which lasted until 1905, at which point it was peacefully dissolved. The union, not the country. Since 1841, Sweden maintained an official policy of neutrality in foreign affairs, meaning that it's been at peace for over 200 years, even throughout both world wars.
Yeah, that is one thing that's if there's one thing in the West that if you ask someone and said, "Oh, what do you know about Sweden?" What we hear about is the fact that you guys are quite neutral when it comes to anything kind of politically motivated. Like, you don't take sides, you kind of sit on the fence, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That is good for the Swedish people. If I was Swedish, I'd be happy that you don't get into conflicts with many countries, which is nice. Whereas us as England, as the UK, we tend to side with America quite a lot. We're like their little brother that always gets involved. And it's like, did we need to get involved? Maybe not. So I respect Sweden because you guys just kind of like, hey guys, fight amongst yourselves. We're just gonna like, we're gonna do what we're doing, all right?
Number 14. That being said, although Sweden was officially neutral in both World War I and II, the country did engage in humanitarian efforts. During the Second World War, Sweden took in refugees from German-occupied Europe, including almost all of Denmark's Jews, who Hitler, and I'm going to say it, that dick, had ordered to be arrested and deported to concentration camps. However, Sweden also allowed the Nazis to use their railways to transport arms and troops and traded with Germany throughout World War II, so it's a bit of a mixed bag of should we help the Nazis or not? Number 15.
So you guys just don't really get involved. You're just kind of like, you get involved but you don't. You just help both sides, whoever. You just stay impartial, like. And yeah, it's controversial in a way, but in a way, I kind of understand as well. The preservation of your people, like, don't get involved in conflicts. It's quite smart, actually.
15. Between the 1850s to the 1930s, roughly 1.5 million Swedish people emigrated to North America. The population of Sweden in that period was never more than 3.5 million, so that's really saying something. Most America-bound Swedes ended up in Minnesota, where the American Swedish Institute is located in the state capital of Minneapolis. Number 16. After the Cold War ended, Sweden joined the European Union on the 1st of January 1995, but also chose not to adopt the euro and also declined NATO membership.
Like us, the last video that I did on the ICA, not ICA, ICA shopping centre, or shopping mall or supermarket, I was looking at the prices and I was like, what's this? How come it's so expensive? But then I realized, oh wait, you guys haven't adopted the euro like the UK. We've kept our pound and you guys have your krona. So yeah, that's something we have in common.
Oh, those rebels. Number 17. Sweden is home to over 95,000 lakes larger than 100 square meters. That's over 9.5 million square meters of lake, people.
Wow.
I'm trying to make this sound impressive, but I genuinely have no idea how much lake is a lot of lake. Like, number 18.
I like lakes.
The Åland Islands, an archipelago located at the entrance of the Gulf of Bothnia, are officially part of Finland, but are home to a Swedish-speaking minority who have their own government, flag, and culture.
Oh, wow.
Number 19. Because of its proximity to the Arctic Circle, Sweden regularly experiences long, dark winters, which can lead to some of its citizens to suffer from seasonal affective disorder.
Well, so the next video that I'm going to, after this video, stay tuned, make sure you look out for it. I'm going to do a video actually finding out about your really dark winters. I wonder if your winters are like our winters, because obviously we have daylight saving, we have really dark nights and really dark mornings in the wintertime. Like you could be waking up and it's not, the sun doesn't rise until like almost 10 o'clock. Like it's dark going to work every morning. And then when you leave, the sun sets at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the height of winter, and you're going home and it's dark. It's very depressive. SAD is also something that a lot of UK people like suffer. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you suffer with SAD in Sweden or anywhere else in the world. But yeah, the next video I'm going to be learning about it.
As such, some bus stops in Sweden have been fitted with phototherapy lights to combat the effect of barely seeing the sun for months on end. Number 20. Sweden's northernmost town is Kiruna and is located well within the Arctic Circle. The town is so far north, in fact, it does this really mental thing where the sun does not set at all certain times of the year, and subsequently doesn't rise at all for most of December.
What? It doesn't set for most of the year, and what did he say? It doesn't set for most of the year, and then there's in the month of December it never rises. That is insane. I need to react to
The town is so far north, in fact, it does this really mental thing where the sun does not set at all certain times of the year.
The sun does not set at all. That's insane. I think I'd be all right just because I'm quite good at I'm quite good at napping during the day and just like having like blackout curtains and just falling asleep. So I think I'll be all right with the sun not setting. That's fine. But the sun not rising, wow, I don't know about that.
And subsequently doesn't rise at all for most of December. Number 21.
Wow.
Nowadays, Sweden is renowned for its Nordic social welfare system. Swedish citizens enjoy universal healthcare and university education entirely free of charge at points of use. Wow, that's good. I like that a lot.
That's like us, yeah. Universal healthcare, we have that as well. I wonder how much is covered by the government, by the taxpayers, and yeah, it's like pharmaceutical stuff. Like when you go to the pharmacy, do you have to pay for your prescriptions? Is dental covered in your insurance? Your tax-paying free healthcare. Like what's included and what's not? Because I think universal healthcare looks different in different countries.
However, this comes at the price of high taxes. And with a tax rate of over 50% of GDP, Swedish people are among the most highly taxed in the world. However, most Swedes seem to be fairly happy with the situation. In fact, the Swedish word for tax is skatt, which doesn't mean anything filthy, it means treasure.
Okay.
Number 23. Since 1901, the Nobel Prizes have been awarded every year in Sweden to honour excellence in various fields, with modern categories including physics, medicine, literature, peace, and YouTube fact videos. I hope to collect my statuette this year. As of last year, almost 585 prizes have been awarded to 923 people and organisations.
Wow.
Number 24. In case you didn't know, the Nobel Prizes are the legacy of Alfred Nobel, who left a massive amount of money in his will to the establishment of the Nobel Prize. Oh, and also he invented dynamite in 1866, so well done, Alfred.
I covered this slightly in my last video, the dynamite situation, and I said in the video, like, what else would you make dynamite for? Like did he not know that it was going to be used to like destroy people's homes and their lives? But like people said, it's like used in construction and like to level buildings, and it was used for like a constructive purpose. But obviously, human beings being human beings, we always seem to find a way to turn it into something evil and bad. So yeah.
I don't know what that coyote from Looney Tunes would do without you. Number 25. Sweden has managed to accrue 7 Nobel Prizes for literature, including the first woman to win the prize, Selma Lagerlöf, who won in 1909. Rebecka, a large mansion in west central Sweden, has a national shrine and memorial to Lagerlöf. Number 26. But it's not just writing that Swedes have done good at. A number of important inventions and innovations are Swedish in origin. The pacemaker, the refrigerator, the ultrasound.
Whoa. The pacemaker, awesome. The refrigerator, though, that's even more awesome because that's something that we use every day. Wow. It's interesting that the refrigerator was invented in a country that's already cold. I would have thought the refrigerator would have been invented in like maybe a warmer country, just because obviously you need to like preserve food. I mean, I know like in hotter countries they used to like use salt to preserve meats and stuff, but yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how that came about.
A number of important inventions and innovations are Swedish in origin. The pacemaker, the refrigerator, the ultrasound, the astronomical lens, and computer mouse were invented in Sweden, all by Swedes living abroad. So without the Swedes, you wouldn't be able to...
Swedes living abroad. So not Swedish people living in Sweden, but your exports have achieved a lot. So yeah, I think you can count that as, you know, Swedish inventions. You know, if they're Swedish people by origin and they've gone somewhere else and invented something, they're still part of your diaspora. That's the English word for the extended community, your extended children of Sweden.
See your baby and paste it all over Facebook. Oh, I'm having a baby. Yeah, we get it, Chan. Number 27. To date, Sweden has won 636.5 Olympic medals in total.
Wow.
The half a medal, which you may be thinking, about, is due to the fact that at the 1900 Olympics in Paris, Sweden competed alongside Denmark in a tug-of-war with France, and Sweden-Mark won the gold. Okay. Number 28. Of course, no discussion about Sweden would be complete without mentioning everyone's favourite international sensation, that is IKEA. Did you know that everyone's favourite purveyor of Scandi design also sells roughly 1,836,000 meatballs across the globe every single day?
They're so popular, like IKEA meatballs. I think I've had them once before, but a very long time ago. And they were good.
No, well, you do now. Do with that information as you wish. Eat it up like a meatball. Number 29. In 2006, IKEA opened up a store in Haparanda, a municipality in Sweden, in the most northerly county of Norrbotten, making it the northernmost IKEA in the world. Okay. Temperatures there regularly drop to minus double digits during the winter, so I think I'll just go to the one in Croydon, thanks very much. Number 30. Speaking of
Croydon's in London. I used to live there, not far from Croydon.
Haparanda, the town is so close to the Finnish town of Tornio that they share the same post office with 2 separate phone lines, one for calls to Sweden and one for calls to Finland.
Oh, okay.
Number 31. Similarly, there's a golf club on the border of Sweden and Finland with half the holes in one country and half in the other. You probably have to bring a passport to go. Oh, security would be awful, wouldn't it? Number 32. The 3-point seatbelt is also a Swedish invention too, and is said to have saved...
You've invented the seatbelt. Saving lives daily, Sweden. Saving lives daily.
1 million lives.
Yeah,
it was first introduced in 1959 by Volvo, and today are found in billions of vehicles worldwide. Number 33. The world's largest scale model of the solar system can be found in Sweden. The sun is represented by the Ericsson globe, with the models of various planets, celestial bodies and solar features dotted around the country at a maximum distance of 950 kilometers across. And yet, the model has a scale roughly 1 to 20 million. Wow. Space really is huge. We could have a video about space. What? We already do? What a coincidence. Watching after this one.
Well done.
Number 34.
Nice
Possibly
segue.
Sweden's most celebrated scientist is Carl Linnaeus, who was born in the countryside of Småland in southern Sweden in 1707. Linnaeus is best known for creating the formal system of naming organisms known to bionormal classification, which enables all plants and animals to be consistently named and classified, which, you know, is helpful in science. Linnaeus himself created the term Homo sapiens, so in a way, he named all of us. He also called you a homo, so you gonna take that, are you? Well, actually, that's probably... Number 35. Sweden's Uppsala University has in its possession a famous 4th century Bible known as the Silver Bible, which is considered by many to be one of the world's most valuable books. The Silver Bible is an incomplete version of the New Testament written in ancient Gothic language using silver and gold ink. It's pretty much the most blinged and pimped out Bible you'll ever come across. Blood? Oh, why did I say blood at the end? I ruined it.
Nice.
Number 36. One of history's most popular video games, world-building simulator Minecraft, was created by Swedish programmer Marcus Notchpersson.
Jeez, you guys have created... There's so much, like, things, so many things I'm like, oh, yeah, that's American. Oh, that's American. That's obviously American. But I don't know, in my head I've been like, oh, it's a Swedish person that created it. That's so cool.
As a one-man passion project. First released in 2011, the game has since sold more than 144 million copies, making it the second best-selling game of all time after Tetris.
Wow.
Tag Sweden. Number 37. The Swedes are also behind the uber-popular free...
You guys made Candy Crush. I don't know whether I should be like, well done, Sweden, or be like, that is like a plight to the world. And my mum was like so obsessed with that game. In fact, I think at one point I was obsessed with that game. I think quite a lot of people were when it first came out. It was so addictive.
Premium mobile game Candy Crush. Swedish games development company King has had their game downloaded almost 500 million times, and in 2013, the game generated a staggering $1.5 billion in sales. That's 11.8 billion Swedish krona. Number 38. You can also thank Sweden for its massive contribution to the world of music in the form of one band, Bass Hunter. Oh, nope, sorry, I mean ABBA. The group has sold over 375 million records worldwide, which, depending on who you ask, makes them the 3rd or 4th best-selling music act in history. Wow. What an interesting fact that is. Does your mother know? Oh, okay. Number 39. ABBA are remembered even today for not only their extensive catalogue of bangers, but also the ridiculous outfits they wore during their spectacular live performances. The members of ABBA have since revealed they wore these wacky costumes primarily to avoid Sweden's taxes, which allowed deductions for clothing if it wasn't meant for everyday use. That's the name of...
Oh, okay. So they're the expensive items then?
The game. So ABBA, it doesn't matter. Number 40. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, a city built on 12 islands and over 50...
I want to go to Stockholm. I am coming to Stockholm. I don't know when. I don't know when, but I'm coming to Stockholm. It's happening. It's happening. I don't know when. But I will be in a city near you.
50 bridges, leading it to being given the nickname the Venice of the North. To be fair, basically anywhere with enough water gets that nickname. You, all the people from Birmingham saying, oh, we have more canals than Venice. No one cares, Birmingham. All right? Number 41. Stockholm is also home to Skansen, the world's first open-air museum, opened all the way back in 1891. Skansen depicts examples of Swedish rural life from various time periods between the 16th century and 20th century, and attracts more than 1.3 million visitors each year. Meningen med livet. In an attempt to make obeying the speed limit fun, which is possibly the most boring string of words I could have ever uttered, Stockholm tested a speed camera lottery which automatically entered speed limit-abiding drivers into a prize pool funded by the fines paid by those caught speeding. Ah, karma's gonna get ya. Number 43. One interesting Stockholm phenomenon is the tradition of the Flogsta Scream, in which the denizens of Flogsta, a residential area in Stockholm, stick their heads out of windows at 10 p.m. every Tuesday and scream their little Swedish lungs out for several minutes.
Someone let me know in the comment section if that's actually true. What? Guess they scream out their windows at 10... What?
Flogsta Scream, in which the denizens of Flogsta, a residential area in Stockholm, stick their heads out of windows at 10 p.m. every Tuesday and scream their little Swedish lungs out for several minutes. This is done to relieve the stress caused by university exams, although that sounds like it causes more stress than it solves.
Actually, screaming, like, I can imagine just letting it all out. I bet that's very therapeutic. There must be a reason.
Number 44. Stockholm is renowned for its colourful art-covered metro stations. More than 90 of the 100 stations have been covered in mosaics, paintings, sculptures and carvings, meaning it's been dubbed the world's longest art gallery. Number 45. Greta Garbo, you know, the legendary Hollywood actress and Swede, which is why we mention her, had her first job as a sales assistant in the hat section of the pub department store at the Hotoket City Square in Stockholm. She later starred in over 30 films and spent most of her life in the US before dying in New York City in 1990, like one classy bee. I hope I die in NYC. Or Norwich, whichever's easy.
I don't know who she is, but she looks fabulous. Like, everything she's wearing is like, wow, she looks good.
Easiest. Number 46. Stockholm also boasts the largest hemispherical building in the world. Known as the Ericsson Globe, which we mentioned earlier, the building stands proudly at 85 metres high with a diameter of 110 metres. Number 47. Stockholm also has an entire museum dedicated to ABBA, which I've been to actually, which allows visitors...
I am definitely going to the ABBA Museum when I go to Sweden.
To gaze upon all manner of ABBA memorabilia, such as the band's numerous gold records and aforementioned wacky wardrobe pieces. The stated goal of the museum is to let the patrons experience the feeling of being the fifth member of ABBA, which it facilitates by allowing you to get on stage with sophisticated holograms of the band. I nearly did that as well, but my girlfriend told me not to. Number 48. Northern Sweden is home to the indigenous Sami people, whose ancestral homeland, Sapmi, known in English as Lapland, stretches over the top of the Scandinavian peninsula, across Norway, Sweden, Finland and even Russia. Sweden specifically has around 20,000 Sami people, who even have had their own parliament. Number 40.
So Lapland is in Lapland where Santa Claus is from? That's in Sweden? That's part of Sweden? I need to go, if that is true.